All right, ranking my favorite moon signs. I did want to start this out by saying I actually love all the moon signs. I know I sound like full of shit, but that's really just the reality. I love every moon sign. There's no moon sign that, I've noticed that I have issues with or that annoys me at all. I truly enjoy all of them, but I don't enjoy all of them the same way or to the same extent. And so I promise you that I will put at least one sign in every category, even though I like all of them. Yeah, let's explore this, and we're actually gonna go through in kind of the like traditional order: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc. We're gonna mix it up a little bit rather than doing it alphabetically. Okay, so we start out with Aries moon. I love Aries moon. I love how impulsive they are. They're a lot of fun to be around. I think I don't mind some more kind of some of the more dramatic personalities that are very fiery and kind of intense. I have a lot of air and Gemini in my chart, so I enjoy how kind of even volatile they are sometimes. Um, I find these energies, I love their transparency. I love how they're not afraid to be emotionally vulnerable, or maybe they are afraid, but they do so anyway. I really enjoy that. So, yeah, so much fun. Aries moon in particular it can be very charming. Like they can come across very innocent, but also kind of mischievous at the same time. The only issues I have with Aries moon is that they are dramatically different from how I am. I'm more of an overthinker, whereas they really just wing it all the time. So that can make it difficult for us to kind of relate to each other and connect. And also, I've become aware now that I think with Aries placements in general, but especially Aries moon, people with these placements, they come across very easy. They're easy to get to know, right? So they come across, they seem low maintenance at first, right? And you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Like, oftentimes, especially for people with displacement who aren't very mature, they're going to be very reckless, very wild. They'll be anything but low maintenance once you get to know them a little bit more. So, all in all, there's a lot that I like about this placement. There's a lot that I can see is maybe not as easy, So I would say they're kind of average, middle of the road for me personally. Next is Taurus moon. Moon is exalted in Taurus, so this is a popular placement. This is an objectively kind of easy placement, and yeah, for people, for anyone who knows a Taurus moon person, they tend to be very well rounded. Oh gosh, I'm already questioning some of my rankings. It's so hard to judge these, in a kind of critical way because I like them all. But yeah, I love how the moon is exalted there. What's not to love? Taurus placements in general are very straightforward, but yeah, particularly the Taurus moon. The moon has to do with our emotions, and when with moon and Taurus, that person, on the one hand, they very much know their boundaries very, very well. They view things in a kind of black and white lens, which makes it easy to have boundaries. But on the other hand, they're simultaneously receptive. They're open to the emotions of others. So they have this kind of perfect middle ground, emotionally speaking. I have a great, Taurus sun, Taurus friend person. He's the most perfect person that I know of. When he did the Myers-Briggs test, he got 50-50 on all four kind of axes or four letters. So that's just one example. I think Taurus placements in general are about as close to perfect as you can be. But, oh, this is tough. I don't, there's something, I don't know how to like put my finger on this, so to speak, but I've never been. I feel like there's like this distance though with Taurus moon people, and this could be a personal thing with me and my own astrology. But they are so pleasant to be around, and so almost kind of perfect, like I said. But it seems like maybe it's that very perfection that keeps me from maybe relating to them, or I just feel like there's almost like a detachment, like either they're detached or maybe the way we relate to each other is detached. Like I have a hard time feeling their emotion, Maybe it's because, like I said, maybe they're too put together for me and I'm attracted to messes. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I guess I will put them in the average category as well. Next is Gemini moon. So I myself have a Gemini moon, and it's so refreshing. Generally speaking, I think it's very refreshing to be around someone else who has the same moon sign as yourself. I really would go as far as to say that I think in general we usually will relate to our moon sign more so than any other planets. That really represents who we are more than anything else. And what I love about Gemini moon people is that I find they're always unique. They're always different. Like they're always very original. And I get bored easily. I like people that are kind of different or interesting. And so, yeah, I love talking to a fellow Gemini moon. Always interesting, always different. Yeah, pretty much just that, and then plus, obviously, we have something in common. It's very easy to connect with one another. So, yeah, definitely one of my most favorite. Next is Cancer. So I do get along famously well with Cancer in general as a sign. More so with Cancer Sun, though. I've also known many Cancer Rising people. When it comes to Cancer Moon, I do think that's a little bit more difficult. My brother has Cancer Moon. I love him. He's a great guy. Do we always get along? It's kind of hit and miss. We do sometimes get along. He's probably not watching this. Astrology's not really his thing. But I'm gonna say Cancer is less favorite. It's another placement that I just don't know a lot of them right now, or I should say, not a lot are close to me in my life right now. There's my brother, like I said, but there's not a whole lot else. There's another person that comes to mind for sure. Again, I like this placement. I like all of these placements. It's not that I don't like it. The only issue I have with Cancer Moon is that I feel like I offend them a lot. I feel like I offend Cancer Moon people. They're very sensitive, and I think with Cancer placements in general, they're much more kind of careful with words, maybe, which I am not always, Plus, like me having such Gemini energies, I like to tease. That's kind of one way I show affection. And when you have Cancer placements, especially Cancer Moon, they do not appreciate that. It is offensive to them, I think, sometimes. So, yeah, mixing a Gemini Moon person, such as myself, with a Cancer Moon person, I'm much more detached. I don't really take anything as seriously. I don't know. It's hard for me to put into words like what the disconnect is, but yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, like I said, I can vibe maybe a little better with Cancer Rising or Cancer Sun, maybe even Cancer Mercury, but Cancer Moon, I don't have any beef, but as far as moon signs go, they're going to be lower on the totem pole. Okay, next is Leo moon. I am attracted to very fiery personalities. I like fiery placements in general. Leo moon, though, this is another one I don't have a lot close in my life. Really with any placement, I've known people or, looked up the charts of celebrities. So it's not that I don't know of anyone with these placements, but when it comes to people that are close to me in my life, I don't know if I can think of a single Leo moon person. I like them in theory. I would think they are so, confident and warm. Actually, one person comes to mind that I was very close to in high school that has Leo moon. So yeah, I can see that potential, but for whatever reason, I just haven't really connected with them a whole lot. So I'm gonna say less favorite as well. I think part of this is, I have a lot of mutable signs in my chart. So certain placements that are more oriented towards stability, like Leo moon, even Cancer moon, for instance, that could be one area of disconnect. If I'm constantly changing, I could see how that could be a disconnect with a placement like Leo moon, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of just searching, but that's all I can come up with. Next is Virgo moon. So this is yet another placement that I haven't met a lot of. I have had a couple close to me in my life over the years, but I want to meet more of them though. I love Virgo moon, and this is another placement that usually whatever your sun sign is, you should probably get along with people who have moon in that sign. because it's very complementary. You know, I have Sun in Virgo. Someone who has Moon in Virgo, we create like a full moon together, right? Because the sun kind of illuminates the moon, something like that. So I was thinking the reverse is not necessarily true though. I have a Gemini moon, and I don't tend to get along as well with Gemini suns, so that could be for a different reason. But anyway, yeah, the Virgo moons that I've kind of observed and connected with are so intellectual and just so humble, and I don't know. I think it's a beautiful moon sign. I think it's underrated. They seem very nurturing and very self-aware, you know, very grounded. So I want to meet more Virgo moon people for sure. Next is Libra. This is another one of my favorite moon signs. I really admire people who have Libra moon because they never start shit. They're like, I always say, if someone were to say, oh, the person who has Libra moon, like that's the person that started this drama, or they started some kind of chaos, some kind of dysfunction, I just wouldn't believe them, right? Because any Libra moon person I've known is also very grounded, very, they think everything through. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't shy away from the more dramatic placements, but Libra moon is the opposite of that. They're very giving, very receptive, very easy to get along with. They're very fun. Libra kind of falls into my fifth house, so it's a fun time for me. Yeah, great to spend time with them. Okay, next is Scorpio. I actually do particularly love Scorpio moon as well, which is interesting because I don't always get along with water placement super well. I don't have a lot of water in my chart. My chart is pretty devoid of water. I only have Pluto and Scorpio, and there's no other planets in water signs for me. So yeah, I don't always connect with water signs, but what I do connect with is any kind of debilitated placement or detriment placement. I love debilitated placements in other people. My experience is that people with debilitated placements are humble, but also they're very unique, very original, and that I love that. So yeah, I'm still gonna put them in the good category though, even though I just kind of ranted and raved about them. Just because there is that disconnect of, if they are very emotional, then that could be a disconnect between us. One of us may not understand the other, or may not be receptive to the other. I'm kind of simultaneously very emotional, but also very detached at the same. I think I'm more detached than anything overall. So yeah, but other than that disconnect, like for instance, I've met people with Sun in Libra and Moon in Scorpio. That's a cool combination. Sun in fall with Moon also in fall. Potentially the most difficult combination, but it makes such cool people. So anyway, yeah. Okay, next is Sagittarius. This is a placement that I have been very attracted to. Sagittarius is the sign of my descendant and my north node. So I attract people with especially Sun in Sagittarius, but also Moon. I've attracted many of those people, and I love Sagittarius placements in general. Probably more so the Sun, I guess, but Sagittarius Moon as well, or Rising. I would like to meet more Sagittarius rising people, but that's not what this is about. Sagittarius moon, yeah, I like them. I think I might like them more than they like me, and that's the only difficult part because my Virgo placement square Sagittarius, and so there is some kind of tension there. I don't mind that tension, but I think they do. I think I can sometimes accidentally kind of rain on their parade. Sagittarius moon in particular is such an optimistic placement. It's so hopeful, and I can be more of a realist. I do have that Virgo side. I can be very I don't know, not as like head over heels about like really grandiose ideas. I like to have a good adventure. I like to have a good time, but we can kind of butt heads, I guess. I've had relationships where my Mercury squares their moon, and I can kind of hurt their feelings with my logic or my communication style without meaning to. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love Sagittarius moon, but I could see how I may not be the best kind of fit for them, if that makes sense, and I may harm them without intending to. That's not my intention at all. But anyway, next is Capricorn. Capricorn moon has always been one of my favorite moons. I feel like I just get them. I admire them. They come from a difficult place. They have challenging upbringings. But it makes for a very independent person. Like I mentioned with Moon and Scorpio, Moon is also kind of debilitated in Capricorn. Moon is in fall in Scorpio, but in detriment in Capricorn. So either way, it makes for very unique people. I do think it's generally going to be easier for me to relate with Moon and Capricorn people since that's an Earth placement. I have a lot of Earth in my chart. I have an Earth Sun, so we can vibe on that level. And yeah, now that I think about it, I think I actually like Capricorn Moon more than I do Capricorn Sun. I like Capricorn Sun as well. But yeah, Capricorn Moon people, they just very much think for themselves, and they don't put their bullshit on other people. You know what I mean? Like if they have a problem, they're gonna work it out themselves, and I just so admire that. I think we could all be maybe a little bit more like that. There's nothing wrong with kind of collaborating as well, but yeah, I just so very much admire Capricorn Moon for sure. Next is Aquarius Moon. I love Aquarius as a sign. But Aquarius Moon, I'm actually going to rank least favorite. And like I said, I like all the moon signs. That includes Aquarius Moon. Every single one of them, I like each moon placement. But with Aquarius Moon, the difficulty I have, and this is kind of funny because I myself have Gemini Moon, which is not too dissimilar from Aquarius Moon. They're very detached, maybe even more so than me. But that is difficult for me, because I'm so detached. I'm usually looking to adapt to whoever I'm around, so whatever, like if they know how they feel very well, it's easier for me to kind of see them and kind of fit that, if that makes sense. But if I don't know, for whatever reason, like Aquarius Moon is detached and kind of aloof, it's hard for me to place them. It's hard for me to know, like, are we cool? Like, how do you feel right now? Are you feeling anything? I don't know. I don't really feel that with Gemini Moon nearly as much. I feel like Gemini Moon is very communicative, but Aquarius Moon is a little bit more detached or more aloof, I guess you could say. So, I don't know. It's just hard for me to place them. I've actually known multiple people with Sun and Moon in Aquarius. Other than that, though, I haven't had many people close to me in my life with Moon in Aquarius, but maybe part of that is why. I don't know. Okay, lastly is Pisces Moon. So this one I actually also really like as well. Sun in Pisces can be a little bit difficult with me. I've noticed that women Pisces Sun people in particular often don't trust me for some reason. But Pisces Moon is completely different. I feel like we vibe very well. Maybe it's because I have 12th house Moon, which is vaguely similar in certain ways. I don't know, but I have noticed that if you apply things that way, like for instance, depending on the house system, I have Sun in the 4th house, and I've always vibed really well with Cancer Sun people. I have Mars in the 5th house. I really admire Leo Mars people. You know what I mean? So in a weird way, even though houses don't exactly equal signs, that way of thinking does check out for me. Let me know in the comments if that is the same for you as well. But anyway, yeah, I have 12th house Moon. I've always loved Pisces Moon. Other placements in Pisces, there's more of a disconnect for me. But Pisces Moon, for whatever reason, they just seem so open. They're so warm. They just seem very easy to talk to, in my experience. So, yeah, also one of my favorite moon signs. I'm going to let you know, like, when I don't usually take notes before these tier videos, but for this one I did to kind of plan it out. And I started out with these top 7 signs all in my favorite. Basically everything was bumped up one level. so there's nothing in the least favorite, and then 7 signs in the favorite. So I actually went back and like bumped everything down and had to decide, okay, what's gonna be my favorite, what's gonna be in the good category. So yeah, I'm not lying when I say I really do love all the placements, but some more than others. But yeah, I think this was by request. a while ago. If you have any other requests of how you'd like me to rank the signs, please let me know. It's a very easy series for me to do. I'm also starting a new series, by the way. We're going to talk about all the generations. Not right now, obviously. But I did a lot of notes on the generations between 1971 and 2008. You know, people that are born within that time frame. And I've invented, I've made this whole like way of looking at it and broken down those years into different generations and subgenerations. So I'm very excited to talk about that very soon. But as always, if you have any other ideas, let me know. If you want a reading, hit me up. My information is always in the description. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.